Hi there, welcome. Today I've got some projects coming to you, starting with this faux fur mitten. I'm just going to freehand right on to the material. I was lucky enough to have found a nice piece at the thrift store because faux fur can get a little pricey. So I scooped that up as soon as I saw it. So I'm just going to use a marker and freehand the shape. Then I'm going to get it cut out. After I do that, I'm going to hot glue this entire thing together for a no-sew easy holiday project. I really like using hot glue for these kinds of projects. In the past, I would have taken my sewing machine out and gotten that all set up, but I really want to make things that are easily accessible for everybody. Not everyone has a sewing machine or likes to sew. This is just a great way to make some nice, easy home decor for your Halloween, not Halloween anymore, for your Christmas decorations. Okay, now that we've got that glued together, I'm gonna go ahead and take some fiberfill and just lightly stuff this. I don't really want it to be, overfilled, and I just want to give it a little bit of extra shape because I am going to be adding something to the inside of this. I got this book of vintage Christmas ephemera off of Amazon. I will add the link in the description. It's really great. It's got a wide variety of styles of vintage images. And I got this last year. I really like that tree right there. Of course, I love all my neutrals. But today I'm going to use a Santa kind of advertisement here, and I'll get to that in just a second. I just wanted to show you guys what's in this book in case you're interested in getting it. I look at a lot of ephemera books on Amazon, and I've been pretty picky about which ones I choose. So I really liked this one. Now that is a Santa advertisement, and I'm going to go ahead and wrinkle that up because I want to get some of those creases in there, so when I add the ink, it'll just have a nice aged look. I'm just going to use a little bit of brown ink around the edges and lightly go over those wrinkles. I really like this process. It's one of my favorite techniques to use with my tags. And, it just gives it a nice kind of an aged appearance. It really adds to the overall look of the finished piece. taking a little bit of twine and I'm just going to actually take a long piece because I want to wrap this around the cuff a few times. This is going to help me add other items to the mitten, give it the shape that I'm looking for, and also serve as a place for a hanger. So these mittens are really fun to make. They're super easy. And think of all the different materials you can use and embellishments that you can add. They're just a really fun way to create your own Christmas decorations. You can make them any size. I think it would be cute to make several smaller sizes to add to a Christmas tree. And the options are endless for materials and colors to use. So now I'm just going to tie a simple bow. This is a rustic piece. I want to keep it fairly minimal. So I'm just going to tie a quick little bow there. And then we're going to go ahead and start to embellish. This is the fun part. Now I'm using some of that coconut fiber. I've talked about this several times. I really enjoy using this coconut fiber. It's very easy to use. It's a fairly clean product. No, not a lot of mess, just a little bit. So I'm just adding that there and it stays where you put it. It's got a lot of like buoyancy and height to it when you need it. So I'm going to hot glue that to the back and then add some glue to the front as well. I want to add a little bit of color to bring out the red in the tag. I got those at Hobby Lobby. I think they were $2.99 and they were half off. I thought that was a great price. I had some of these in my shopping cart on Temu and I decided I didn't need as many as they were offering there. This one sprig could get me pretty far through the holiday season for smaller pieces like this. So I'm just using cuttings as I go. Same with this greenery here. I also got this at Hobby Lobby. I believe it was the same price, $2.99, half off right now. But I just use, small clippings off of this. I don't like to buy too much at one time because I don't want to be left with a lot of inventory or supplies after a season ends. So I buy what I need. Now I'm pointing there to the side. I wanted this a little bit longer greenery. It curved around that outer edge so it kind of flows with the shape of the mitten. I'm just going to cut one single strand off of this and get that hot glued in there. I really like how it picks up the red in the tag. And then I'm also going to add just one additional red berry to the top where I felt like there was a little bit of space. And so I would just end up hot gluing that one on there too. And that's it for the first project. I think it's really cute, fun, and simple. I'm going to be probably making some more of these during the holiday season with different materials and embellishments. Okay, so for project number 2, I'm also going to be making a mitten. I wanted to use a little bit of this material. I got this at Hobby Lobby as well. They've got a really good selection of material, and I always end up just buying like a half a yard at a time. Again, I don't like to spend a lot of money on my supplies, and I bought just what I need for this season. If I need more, I can always go back. But I'm just going to go ahead and totally freehand this. I'm not even drawing it out because, I've got the shape kind of memorized. But, and the tricky part here is that thumb, getting it the right kind of shape. I kind of cut it a little narrow there, but it ends up working out well. You can barely see. But okay, so we're going to hot glue this all together. It's the same as the first one. And then I'm just going to lightly stuff this, and then we'll embellish. I wanted to do something a little bit different with this piece. This is more of a Victorian Christmas decoration. So I've got some pattern paper. I love using this pattern paper. You can find these patterns at thrift stores all the time, and they're always a really good price, usually maybe 25 cents or 50 cents, maybe $1, but still it's worth it for what you get. And I really love the color and the translucency and the printing on this type of paper. I thought it's a really cute way to stuff the top of this, and it's going to add the right look to this project because I am going for a little bit more of a Victorian look. And here's a second ephemera book. This is Vintage People Ephemera. I also got this on Amazon. I will link this one in the description as well. I use this one during the Halloween season, but I think it'll carry me over into Christmas because of the Victorian images. I thought this one was a perfect size for what I'm doing. I'm just going to cut this one out. I'm going to add it to a little bit of chipboard for stability. So there's the ephemera book. Okay, this is a wood cutout. I think I thrifted a small bag of these. They're really great. They're little frames. I'm going to paint it black, sand it down, and then stain it with a little bit of my, it's the Waverly antiquing wax with water, just for a lighter staining. And so this is a really easy way just to add a little bit of character to this project. And again, the shape of the frame definitely has a little bit of a Victorian look. I think it's going to go really well with the image. Let's go ahead and get some Mod Podge on the back of this image and put it on some chipboard. I really like this chipboard. I use it quite a bit with my tags. I like to add some stability to the backing. And, I wanted to mention these ephemera books that I use. It kind of gives me a little bit of a break. Sometimes I will print out images from the computer, but if I don't have a printer accessible, I like to use these books. It gives me a nice variety of images to choose from to add to my pieces. I've got another one from Amazon in my cart that I'm getting ready to purchase. I'm really, really excited about. I can't wait to show you guys. It's absolutely adorable. I'm going to be using it all through Christmas. And that should be maybe in one of my next couple videos. I haven't gotten the book yet, but anyway, so I'm going to get, I don't know why my camera did this. I've done several videos and it's never done that before. I guess it's maybe a reflection off of the paper or something. I don't know. Anyways, so it'll level itself back out here. But I'm going to take some brown ink. I'm going to go around the frame just a little bit. It really adds a nice sepia tone, and I'm liking it so far. Got some black grosgrain ribbon that I'm going to use to tie around just like I did with the twine in the first one. It gives a nice shape to the glove and also adds a place where I can put embellishments. Okay, let's add a little bit of hot glue to the back of our photo and just plop that right down there. I didn't want to have to drill any holes or do any kind of hanging with this. I think it's going to be just fine for what we're doing. I am going to add just a kind of I think it's like a little velvet covered button. I had to clip off the hanger part to the button just to give it a flat back so it'll lay flush with this frame. I think that's absolutely adorable. Now what I want to do is just kind of crinkle this paper. Okay, so here we go. The paper was a little tall. I didn't want to cut it, so I opted for kind of scrunching it down. It gives it a nice worn, aged appearance. Again, I absolutely love using this tissue paper. It's so great and it's so pretty with that color. So I decided to bring in some flowers to pick up that tone in the tissue paper. These are, I think I got them at the Dollar Tree recently. A really great neutral, super pretty. And, overall, is this a Christmas, mitten? Yes, depends on what your colors are you're going to use for the season. But I really like black and neutrals. And of course, I love Victorian. And so I thought it went really well. I can make it work for my decorations somehow. But that is it for project number 2, my Victorian mitten. I think it turned out absolutely adorable. Project number 3, this is going to be a really quick and easy project. I'm just going to remove all of the backing and image to this. It's just kind of like an old-fashioned recipe for, I don't know, something to hang in the kitchen, I guess. Not totally digging it, but I do like the frame. It's a great size. So I'm going to get all this removed. And then I'm going to take a sample of upholstery material that I thrifted. I love this color. I think it's really pretty. It's got the velvet, brown velvet, damask, And I want to take a symmetrical portion of the center of that design. And so I'm just going to kind of like roughly outline where I need to cut, and then I will center everything after it's cut. Okay, so this part can be a little tricky. What I usually do is I just kind of feel my way around to get it centered. And then when I figure out where I want it, I tack it down right in the middle. And then I'll go outwards from there. If I start on the sides, it'll shift and it won't be centered. And so I learned that if I take it from the middle, I can have a better shot at getting this pretty symmetrical. I haven't really, you know what? I guess I could have used the glass. I know better than this, guys. I could have used the glass and outlined the glass, used that as a template, but whatever. It ended up working out. So we're just going to glue this down and then we're going to add it into the frame. I'm adding this plastic kind of brooch embellishment. I've had it for so long, it just sits around in my button box, and I decided to use it today. I'm really liking these colors. I have a feeling this is going to be a popular color this season in the browns and brass gold tones. So I decided to make something today just for fun. It's a quick and easy project. I hope you guys like it. Let me know which one is your favorite. And thank you all for watching. I really appreciate your wonderful comments. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye.